Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about a few tips and tricks that you could use if you're a beginner and are wanting to improve your chess game. Whether you play on chess.com, Lead Chess, over the board, at tournaments, I think these are a few tips that are pretty universal. And honestly, I did not know them until like probably the past 2 or 3 years. So I hope this brings you some value, and let's go ahead and get started. All right. Alright guys, so my first recommendation is to learn an opening. Learn an opening so you can avoid nightmare setups like this. If you see something like this should tell you one of two things. A, that you're playing a chess genius and he's just torturing you. Or B, you're playing a beginner and they're about to get slaughtered. You need to be a little bit more deliberate about your pawn moves, especially in the beginning, because you can be punished. So to prevent all this and to get an idea of what to do, I highly recommend grabbing an opening, and there's many of them. So let me just show you just a few. Alright, so right here we have something called the English. It's one of my favorites. It's one I play all the time. See how we only have two pawns kind of moved, but we also developed our cavalry. Typically in an English opening game, you're going to be fighting for the central part of the board. You're going to try to get a firm grip and really just try to crowd black out and give him as little space as possible, and you having all this space advantage should help you win the game. So I like openings because they give you an idea of what your first few moves should be. Another example of an opening, this is the Modern Defense, and it's one that I play so much. In fact, I only know two openings, one opening for white and one opening for black. And having a sense of structure and an idea about where the game is going to give you such an edge over people who have no idea what an opening is. You really don't need to learn a lot to get a good rating. You just kind of need to specialize. But I'm not saying that you can't learn a lot of openings. By all means, if you find it really fun, do what's fun for you. And there's so many openings out there depending on your play style and your personality. If you're more of an aggressive person or more of a passive person, there is an opening out there. So feel free to experiment with different kinds of openings. And whatever feels comfortable and whatever sticks, go with it. And you'll definitely see your rating climb. So there's stuff like the Nimzowitsch, the London system, the Caro-Kann, the Sicilian, the Italian, the Perk defense, so many. Just choose one, and if that works for you, cool, go for it. But just have that sense of direction that an opening is going to give you. That's going to do so much for your rating. So the second thing that I never really understood when I was lower rated was developing my pieces, getting all the good pieces out so that they can coordinate with the entire position and lend support and or attack if needed. However, typically you don't want to rush. You don't want the queen to be the first piece out because she's very vulnerable. And it only really helps the opposite side. So we can see that the queen's here, and I have the ability to develop this knight to f3, and we win something called a tempo, which is kind of like a free turn, because rather than working on their advantage, black is going to have to just get this piece to safety, and that gives us time to make our position even better. So when something like this happens, it can be kind of frustrating because you've wasted a lot of time just running away. Meanwhile, white is enjoying a more developed position, and the computer engine's gonna like it. Their chances of winning are just gonna be better. I think if you're trying to play good chess, just focus on getting the knight out, focus on getting the bishop out, focus on castling and getting your king to safety. Alright, King, you might be noticing that we have a swarm over here on White's King side. We have a pinned pawn on f2, and maybe Black is thinking about snapping up this g3 pawn for free. However, we should recognize that on this half of the board, we have a major advantage going on. Yes, we got passed pawns, and passed pawns are meant to be pushed. Do not ignore them. Everybody could use an extra queen. So this is a major advantage, a major threat that Black needs to take care of. So this has to be pushed safely though. Now, when we're on the back ranks, the king controls 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 squares. However, you get him out in the middle of the board, say like right here, the king controls more. And the thing about bringing your king out is you really have to be careful, because then he will be vulnerable to things like forks. So we have to be very mindful about how we handle our king. But nonetheless, he is a piece, he is a part of the game, and he must be used. Alright guys and gals, that's pretty much it for off the top of my head. I do have more in-depth ideas, but I just wanted to do a quick video of things that I thought maybe could help you right now, and I didn't want to like information overload. Chess is definitely like a lifelong study, so there's so much more to it than my like 4 or 5 tips. However, if you found any value to this video, I would appreciate a little bit of support, just like a little subscribe and a little like. That would be awesome. So if any of this was new to you, please let me know in the description, or if you have any other questions or didn't understand something, just let me know. But thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next episode.